Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Entertainment Podcast, your source for all things entertainment. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Kelseys Amara on the line, and she's a project manager, producer, and coordinator. Kelseys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
All right, so excited about today's topic. So we're going to talk about pitching your project. But before we get into that, I want to start off with getting a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career?
I started out at an in-house advertising agency where I learned how to shoot, edit, write, produce. I started working on film projects after that, attending meetings with the director, business meetings, trying to kind of figure out the landscape. And then I started writing and directing my own content, which was really small. And so for anyone, I would say just start small if you're starting out. I got to direct music videos for Greaves of Rhymesayers Entertainment. It was a 1901 concept, so I got to work with costumers, which was really interesting and exciting. And our customer actually was working on the show Ozark on Netflix. And then I went to grad school.
That's awesome, and I think this is it's a great transition. So a lot of people listening in entertainment right now, or that want to be in entertainment, and pitching your project is vital. That's one of the keys that I feel like people overlook a lot of times. And so where do you want to start with this topic?
Sure. So we can start with creating a concept. Do you want me to go ahead and go into it?
Go for it.
All right. So you basically start by creating a concept of a show or a short film that you want to do. And depending on what it is, I've pitched projects for DoorDash, and that was in the advertising sphere. And so we would create a pitch deck, which is an overall idea and feel of what that advertisement is going to look like. It includes storyboards. It includes the script sometimes. It includes a color spectrum so that the client can get a feel for what's going on. If you're pitching for television, it's a little bit different. I'm working on some of those right now. You get your log line together. You make it really tight so that people can digest it quickly and get excited about your project. You can create a little teaser video for it, and you can create a pitch deck too for a television series, which includes like mood boards, sort of like a Pinterest mood board that gets an executive excited about the feel or the look of it. But I've worked with motion capture studios that have also done projects for like WWE, and when they were pitching, they didn't really need that. They were really interested in the script and what their studio could provide. So it just depends on the project that you're pitching and what your strengths are.
Talk a little bit more about that, about the strengths part of things, because I feel like I could never ask you the question, like, for example, where do people typically go wrong in their pitches? Because there's no right one or other way to do it. So, but I do think that a good rule of thumb is to focus on your strengths. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. I think that your strength depends on what you're pitching. So, for instance, like the studio's strength was their motion capture. They had great quality of motion capture, really great people working for them. It was a really positive atmosphere, and they could provide a better quality product throughout the post process, and working with that team was stronger than the content that had been produced before. If you are doing like something for television and it's your baby, you know, what you really want to look for is like, who can I pitch this to that's going to really digest it well? Like, where do I think my target audience is going to lie? Where do I think that, you know, what does my agent suggest for that? And you can kind of look and target places to place your television show that you're writing, that you're excited about, and really play to your strengths. If you are not great at writing superhero television shows, maybe you should write about characters that you really care about and are motivated to write about and find a home for those. I know that I am always really passionate about stories that have a great arc and great characters, and it doesn't really, you know, the genre does matter, but I think that the story is what's important.
That's awesome. So what excites you right now, Kelsey? Like, what? I know you're a writer. I know you're working on lots of projects. I mean, what excites you right now?
Well, I think like with the COVID-19 shakeup, things have been shaking up, and so I think that we're all kind of trying to navigate this new landscape of what things are going to look like. And so what I'm really interested in is just creating great projects, creating great stories, being able to think about the whole process as a whole, you know, from writing to pitching to putting together the budget to thinking about how the writing affects the budget back and forth and how you can push that process through post, through VFX, in a really coordinated effort to come up with a good product that the client is going to like, that tells a great story.
That's awesome. So, Kelsey, if somebody is listening to this and they want more information and want to connect with you or your team, I mean, what's the best way for them to reach out?
The best way to reach out is probably through LinkedIn. I am definitely on LinkedIn. They can check out my website, kelseysamara.com, or just email me.
Fantastic. And what's the email?
kelseysamara@outlook.com.
Perfect. Well, Kelsey, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work that you're doing. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review in the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on your YouTube channel, Mission Matters Entertainment, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. I'd love to know what kind of things and projects you're working on. And Kelsey, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam. It was fun.